Ahoy, mateys! 7.1 is about finding areas of rectangles and parallelograms. First of all, rectangles are parallelograms, so just remember that. A parallelogram is a four-sided object, a quadrilateral, if you will, where the pairs of sides are parallel to each other. So a lot of times it's a straight up and down rectangle or a slanted rectangle. Okay, so that's what we're going to do is area of parallelograms. Now, area for any shape is always the number of squares that you can fit inside the shape or that would cover the shape. So the area of any shape at all is the number of squares it takes to cover the shape. And you can find the area of a parallelogram in much the same way as you can find the area of a regular 90-degree rectangle. So what you do is the base times the height. Now this side right here, which is the important part of a rectangle, is not important at all when you're doing the area of a parallelogram. So it's the base times the height of the parallelogram tells you the number of squares it takes to fill this parallelogram. That's a great thing to add to your notes for 7.1, area of parallelograms. Okay, let's use this knowledge now to solve some problems. You're going to want some scratch paper ready, and I'll let you use a calculator on these if you got one. That's fine. So this first one I will do, and then the second one you're going to do on paper here. So the first one, to find the area of this parallelogram, the base is 12 and the height is 14. So what you're going to do is 12 times 14, and when you do that, you end up, you should use the equation. So that is the equation, general equation for the area. It's base times height. So it's 12 meters times 14 meters gives you 168, not meters, but 168 square meters, because it is always square units for area, no matter what the shape is, always squares. All right, so now try B on your own here. So what is the area of parallelogram in B here? Okay, so hopefully you did 8.5 times 4. That is the formula we're going to use. They're kind of going slow as I click through here. So 8.5 times 4, or 8.5 times 4, ends up being 34. And again, it's square units. In this case, the units are feet, so square feet. There we go. Okay, now let's try some more. And you'll be on your own for these, and then we'll go over them. Okay, so for this one right here, what is the area for this parallelogram? Okay, so the base is 20 and the height is 25. You do 20 times 25. I get 500 square meters. Let's check it. Yay, that's right. All right, so let's go to this next one. Okay, so this one, it looks weird, but you use the same formula. It's the same as the other one. So find the area for this parallelogram. Okay, so for this one, the base is 7 and the height is 18. And so you do 7 times 18. So let's see, let me do that in my head. That's 70 plus 56 is 126. I think it's 126 square inches. Hopefully that's what you got. And hopefully that's what, oh, there's no check answer on that one. Well, it's 126. All right, now let's move on to the next one. Why I only have the check answer on the first one? That's weird. Why is my menu going away? All right, a little slow. Okay, the next example, here we go. Maybe. Okay, perhaps not. Let's try the next button again. Oh, it's doing something. All right, I'm going to spare you the third problem. I'm going to jump to the next tab here, just to keep this video a little shorter. It was basically you do base times height again. Okay, so for the next one, it gets a little more complicated. So the reason why is because the units they give you are not going to be the units that you use to get the answer. So in this case, if it shows you this is 1 yard by 1 yard, and again, this square is a parallelogram. Squares and rectangles are parallelograms. What you're going to do to find the area is first convert these to feet if it wants it in square feet, then multiply. Don't multiply first and convert. You want to convert 1 yard to 3 feet first. So these are now both 3 feet, and then you do base times height. 3 times 3 is 9 square feet. So again, something you want to add to your notes. When you're finding area and the units are different, convert the units first, then find the area. I'll leave that up there so you can take notes. Okay, now let's practice one of these. All right, so let's say they give us this parallelogram. Oh, there it is. And the height is 2 feet. And height, it can be turned, like turn your head 90 degrees, and you'll see that 2 feet is the height, 2.5 feet is the base. That's also tricky sometimes when they tilt the parallelograms. You got to like tilt your head or, tilt your screen. So keep in mind, this is actually the height, and 2.5 is the base. Now it wants it in square inches. So the first thing you want to do is convert feet to inches. Don't multiply these and then convert, or it'll be wrong. All right, so how many inches is 2 feet? All right, so hopefully if you didn't know that, you could look it up in the back of the notebooks we gave you because there's conversions in there. So every foot is 12 inches. So 2 feet is 24 inches. Okay, so there's our formula. It's clicking and it's not moving. Okay, there we go. So they're saying to multiply and you get 5 square feet, but we don't care about that part. We want square inches. So that's not going to cut it. They're using a conversion factor. Okay, this is another way to do this. So what they're doing is multiplying first, then using a conversion factor and getting that. All right, now I don't like that method because the conversion factor is going to be different every time. So here's my suggestion, which I told you to do. Don't do it this way. The way they have on the screen, don't do it that way. What you're going to do is turn 2 feet into 24 inches. You're going to do 2.5 feet is 30 inches because 2.5 times 12 is 30. And then you're going to do 24 times 30 to get this 720 square inches. All right. So don't do it this way. Don't use their method. It's going to be confusing. You're going to get things wrong. Just convert these first. So 24 times 30 is 720. No new weird 144 square inch thing. All right. Okay. Excellent. Now practice. Here we go. I think they only gave us one practice problem. So, and maybe it will take a minute to show up on the screen. I don't know. This is really slow. Sometimes it takes a while to load. I wish it were faster. Maybe I'll sing a song or dance or do a little jig or something while I wait for it to load. I'm not going to do that. I'll just wait. There it is. All right. So here it tells you that's 4 meters is that's the base. Okay. So keep in mind this base 4 meters here is the same as this 4 meters here. The height is 10 meters. But it wants the area in square centimeters. So don't do 4 times 10 first. Okay, so first you might want to look up how many centimeters are in a meter if you don't remember off the top of your head. There's a conversion in the back of the notebooks we gave you, or use Google. So how many centimeters are in 4 meters? Yeah, so that's 400 centimeters. And then you do 10 meters times 100 as well. It makes 1,000 centimeters. So this is 400 centimeters times 1,000 centimeters. When you multiply that, that's a lot of zeros. It ends up being 4. I'm adding all the zeros. There they are. So it's going to be 400,000 square centimeters when you do 400 times 1,000 is what we're doing. Okay, so 400,000 is the answer there. And then sometimes you got story problems. So you're going to use the same idea for the area of parallelograms to get missing sides. So sometimes they'll give you the area and you got to find what either the base or the height. Sometimes they'll give you the base and the height and you got to find the area. And sometimes you'll have to convert units. But it's all the same. Area is base times height. There it is. All right. So here we have an area of this parallelogram shaped forest bordered by roads. So the area of this forest right here is 99,000 square yards. And it tells you the length of this road right here is 660 yards. And there's a little deer trail right here. It's a cute little deer trail. Notice the deer trail is the same as the height of this parallelogram. So what will you have to do in order to figure out the length of this deer trail, knowing the area and knowing the base? We will have to divide, all right? And let's go through why that is. So you got to realize that 99,000 square yards is the area of the parallelogram. The 660 is the base, and what we're looking for is the height. So using our formula, we know that 99,000 equals 660 times the height. So then you divide each side by 660, just like we were solving other, equations, and you find out that the trail is 150 yards long. Now, again, this is not square yards. The area is square yards. but each of these lengths is just yards. Okay, so that is the gist of how to find area of parallelograms. And remember, squares and rectangles are parallelograms, so you can use the same formula for those as well. And as you're working through these problems, if you need some help, let me know, and I will see you in class. Ah!